All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to this week's vlog. Today we are not going to be working here in the workspace. We're actually going to be working out in my driveway because we're going to be installing my new spacers and my new coilover kit for my Mercedes-Benz C350 Coupe. So before I went ahead and ordered the coilovers, I did a little bit of research, and basically for my car, it really came down to three options. The Rev 9 coilovers, BC Racing, or Bilstein. So I did end up buying the Rev 9 coilovers, and although they are like the cheapest option, these still are like not very cheap coilovers. Again, like they're for a Mercedes, so the coilovers are still very nice. I already unboxed them and I'll show them to you guys in a minute, but they are adjustable. And my car is not a four-wheel drive 4MATIC, so be careful if you are going to order those, because there is a difference between ordering the 4MATIC ones and the ones that are only for the rear-wheel drive C350s. Because if you order the wrong one, you know, you're gonna have to return it, and that's a whole ordeal in itself. So I already have everything ready up in the front to get started working on the car, so let's make our way over there, and I'll show you guys everything that we're gonna be working with today. All right, so here is my C350. For those that are new to the channel, this is a completely bone stock C350, no engine modifications, no suspension modifications. The struts are worn, but instead of buying new OEM replacement struts, I went ahead and ordered a whole new coilover kit because I personally would like the car to be a little bit lower. The car also has worn out sway bar end links, but I believe they do come with the kit right here, so we are going to be all good on that. And so right now I think I'm going to go ahead and get started on the front passenger side. And so let's go ahead and get my jack up under there and see what we're working with. Ever since I bought this car, I have not jacked it up once to even look at what the suspension looks like. So this is all going to be new to me, so we'll figure it out together. All right guys, so as I suspected, the tie rod ends are going to be worn on this car, which I could already tell even without removing the wheel. Every single time I drive the car and go over a bump, you can hear something like clinking, and after you've been in this game for as long as I have, you can immediately know when something sounds like a worn tie rod end. Anyway, it looks like replacing this strut is going to be a little straightforward. If anything, the more complex part of this job is actually going to be adjusting the coilovers to where I want them. It's basically going to be like, you know, adjusting and then dropping the car, and then if I don't like it, take the wheel off again, adjust it, then drop the car, and just like a whole like rinse repeat kind of ordeal. But actually installing the strut doesn't look like it's going to be too hard. So it's basically just these 3 bolts up here up on the strut tower, and then here in the bottom, if I sit on the floor for a minute, as you can see, here is the McPherson strut that this car has that is worn. Back here is the tie rod end that is also worn, this big long thing right here, no homo, but the boots are torn on the tie rod ends, and so they are making noise. Everything else actually looks pretty good. This control arm right here, seems like the rubber on it on both ends is actually still in really good condition. Tie rod end, the rubber on that one looks to be pretty good as well. And then way down here, there's 3 bolts that hold the actual strut onto the knuckle. So it's this big bolt right here, and then there's like 2 more hidden bolts right here, and then 1 on the other side. All right guys, little update. So we have the first coilover right here installed. All the bolts for the knuckle are tightened up, and then up here we have the 3 bolts on the strut tower tightened up as well. Just FYI, these bolts up top do change to studs with nuts on it, whereas before here on the old strut it had these bolts right here that I believe are E12. Now the only thing left to do here is go ahead and take my jack out and drop the knuckle, so that the sway bar end link right here is able to reach the hole that's on the other side over there, somewhere over there, right there, for the to reach the sway bar. And then once we have everything bolted up and everything, I got to figure out where I'm going to want these coilovers adjusted to. because as of right now, as you can see, I can still twist the whole top portion as well as this bottom one right here, which I'm not sure if this is the locking piece, but this is the first time I've ever installed or even owned adjustable coilovers, so I got to figure this out. And then as I do the other side as well, I'm going to leave the tire removed on this side so I can sort of use this installed or finished side as a reference for the other side. All right guys, day number 2 of this project right here. The fronts are all installed, and right now I'm working on the rear ones. This is turning out to be a little bit more tricky than I expected. I'm starting to think that maybe I should have just ordered lowering springs, because if I did, I probably would have been done by now. But let me show you guys what's going on so far. Okay, so I'm currently working on the rear driver's side right here. There is the original strut, and then the original spring is right there. And so over here I have the new rear springs with the new rear struts that are going to go in. These look fairly simple, but the ones in the front were a little bit more tricky. But the fact that the coilovers are adjustable for me made it a little bit more tricky. Now, as you can see over here, this side is already done and installed, and the ride height right here isn't too bad. But if we walk over here to the passenger side, this side is like basically dumped right now. So I test drove it yesterday a little bit, and this side specifically was rubbing like super bad. If I stick my fingers in here under the fender, I can feel that I definitely bent the lip a little bit. It's not super horrible. I mean, you can't see any damage on the outside on the fender, but if you put your finger in here, it's a little bent. So I think this side did come out a little lower than the driver's side. Both fronts are rubbing really bad right now though, so after we finish the rears, we got to jack the front back up and adjust the coilovers and bring them up like at least another inch, because right now it's way too low. Now the rears are actually pretty straightforward. You got to remove a couple things out of your trunk right here, and then you got to get to these 2 bolts that it's going to have right there on the rear strut tower. One bolt right there, another one right there. After you get those bolts undone, you get up under here and basically just release the strut from the lower control arm, which is right there. You also got to remove the lower bolt that connects the lower control arm to the knuckle, as well as the bolt right there that is for the sway bar end link. And I think before I put these aftermarket parts in here, I think what I'm gonna do is actually crank up the threads on these rear springs right here, just so that it doesn't come out super dumped like it did in the front. Also on these Rev 9 coilovers, we do have to take off the top mount part off of the original strut. As you can see, it's this piece right here. It does have like a rubber thing in the middle right there. But you basically got to take this off of the old strut and bolt it onto the new struts, because the new rear struts do not come with this cap. If you look up like the BC Racing coilovers and a couple other coilovers on the market, they actually do come with this cap right here. But in this case, we do have to transfer this top piece right here. Finished installing everything, and the car is sitting lopsided right now. That's not my concern right now. Tomorrow I'll take the time to take the proper measurements and get the height dialed in and everything. I really should have just bought lowering springs, because lowering springs are so much simpler to me. You know, I've installed them before. You just reuse the OEM strut, go rent the spring compressor from AutoZone or whatever, throw in the new lowering springs, and it's done. There's no adjusting. You don't have to take any measurements. The ride height is just set and the car looks good. But right now it's kind of being a pain, so I'm kind of sick of my car right now. I'm sick of those coilovers, but hey, it is what it is. Now I know for next time, just do the easy way. Just take the easy route and get lowering springs. Fuck these coilovers, honestly. Fuck these coilovers. All right, guys, the only thing left to do is to go ahead and drive it and see if this thing is gonna work. The car is sitting a little bit lower than OEM height right now, but it's not dumped to the floor anymore. The main thing I want to check for is if the car is still going to be scraping a ton up in the front, but hopefully not. At least it shouldn't, because I raised it like maybe 2 inches, damn near 3 inches, honestly. All right, we're cruising at about 45 miles an hour right now. The car feels okay. Keep in mind that I still have to do an alignment on the car. The main thing we're checking for with this test drive is rubbing though, and as of right now, doesn't seem like there's any more rubbing, so I think I might actually be good to go a little bit lower from here. But I have to be very careful, because if I go too low, I'm gonna screw up my fenders, and God knows these Mercedes fenders are not cheap. I don't mean to be a negative Nancy, guys, and I know that the coilover still needs some adjusting, but honestly right now I think the car might even feel worse than it did before, bro. I mean, at least now I can turn the wheel, I mean, almost all the way to a full lock without rubbing. Let's go ahead and try turning it the other way to see if we can make a turn, because before when I tried to test drive it, I could barely even turn the wheel at all because I was crunching up my fenders. But now that problem seems to be fixed because I already cranked it up a ton. But in terms of ride quality, bro, I think the shit might, like, honestly, I think the car might feel a little bit worse now. I'm not saying like we're totally screwed, right? Because we can still adjust like the dampener on the coilover, but as of right now, it honestly, it doesn't feel like an improvement so far. This is what the car is sitting like right now. It looks pretty much almost the same as it did stock. I mean, I can tell in person that it's a little bit lower, but the difference isn't that drastic right now. So tomorrow I'll probably get the car back up in the air again, take the wheels off, and lower maybe like an inch or maybe like a half inch all around to see if I can drive the car like that. I kind of want to get the car like as low as possible, but without rubbing, you know what I mean? My main concern now is definitely fixing the drivability and the drive quality and like the suspension feel, because I'm really not happy with it right now. So that's gonna be it for this week's video, guys. Stay tuned for next week's vlog. Man, my hair is looking crazy right now. Unfortunately, as of right now, I'm not too impressed with those coilovers. I mean, that might change once I go get the car aligned and once I adjust the spring rate and the ride height to my preference. But I don't know, right now I'm really not feeling them. I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just being negative, but I don't know, maybe I'm just not a big fan of coilovers. Again, I've always only ever ran lowering springs, and those have always worked great for me. But we'll see. I mean, I already spent the money, I already bought them, so now I got to make them work. I mean, I could try to take them back off the car and send them back and get my money back, but I'm really not even trying to do that. So I'm just going to try to make it work, adjust them to my liking, and adjust everything as best I can, and just call it a day. I believe right now I'm at like 650 subscribers, so I don't know. We'll see if we can hit that 1,000 subscriber mark by hopefully like in the next 2-3 months. I think we definitely will, because things seem to be going okay in terms of growth with the channel. But again, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week, and catch you later.